Konnichiwa everybody, and welcome back to another pickups video. It's probably a shorter episode than usual because I've split the pickups into two separate lots, if you like. We've got kind of an old, sort of a retro lot, and we've then got a sort of a more modern lot. So rather than put it all together and have too long a video, I've separated it into two, and we'll do retro in this episode. And it's predominantly, you'd be surprised to hear, Saturn. And we've also got a Dreamcast and a GameCube. So, without further ado, let's crack on. I will just show one other thing first of all. Now, this, I've ended up picking this up thanks to seeing Eddie show it. And I think also Clay Graphics showed it as well. And it just looks so cool, and you know, I had to jump on it because it's quite cheap, really. Unfortunately, it did come creased at the bottom, which was a bit annoying, but it's such a cool book. If you're from if you were a kid in like the 80s, you know, you probably collected Garbage Pail Kids cards, and that just, you know, Eddie showed it, like I said, and it's just page after page of all the Garbage Pail Kid cards that were released. I don't know when it would be, late 80s maybe. But it's so cool to be able to, you know, just remember all the cards you had back in the day. And I think there are so many. Yeah, there are 5 series altogether. 85 and 86 it spanned. So I don't know when I collected it. I think it was the earlier ones I remember. I don't remember the later ones. Like Up Chuck and Frying Brian. Remember them too. And Dead Ted. Such a cool book. And I think you also get a pack of stickers inside the back cover. And you got like the chewing gum on the back and the front cover as well. So, you know, such a cool thing. Menace Dennis and Fred Thread. So, gotta say thanks to Eddie again. He likes spending my money, recommending me all kinds of things, usually incredibly cool. So there we go. Can't remember how much exactly it was. I think it was around a tenner. So if you fancy it, it's on Amazon. 10 quid. It's or around that anyway. It's a great little coffee table book. Right, GameCube. Now I don't buy that many GameCube games now, really. I picked up Ikaruga in the last episode, if you remember. Yeah, because I've got most of the ones I'm looking for, really. Just odd things, you know, I like to try and pick up if I can. Now, I've been after this one for quite some time. And it was one I never knew of back in the day. I only found out about it in recent years. As of yet, I've not tried it, but before I send the video out or upload it to YouTube, I will have played it by then, and I'll put some footage up here so you can see it. And it's a Jap exclusive. Well, I think it is. It's called Chirinko Racing, and it's like a kart game, like, you know, Mario Kart. I'm sure it's a Jap exclusive. It's Ban Presto characters anyway. So I've not tried it yet. It looks very Japanese, you know. All the kind of, well, you can see the characters on the front of the sleeve there, you know, the kind of very Japanese style characters. And it comes with the manual. But I am really keen to try this because, you know, I do like a kart racer. No, I'm not that keen on Mario Kart, where it's gone now. The original ones were great. So I'm hoping, you know, this is kind of But if it's as good as Double Dash, I'll be well happy. It looks quite good on the box, and I did read a review before I bought it, and it's something to suggest that it was reasonable. But has anybody out there played that one? Turinko Racing. Or Turinko Hero on the side, actually. It's probably Turinko Hero Racing then, maybe. But I'm almost certain there's no PAL. It could become out American, but if it has, I've not seen it. But let me know, is there a USA version of that? And have you played it? Have I wasted the money? We'll soon find out, because I'm going to try it in a minute. Right, Dreamcast. Now this is one I had when it came out, and to be honest I thought I'd still got it. It was only when I was sort of looking at my Dreamcast games I realised that I hadn't actually got it. Because there are two, sort of the first one and the second one on the Dreamcast, and I've got the second one, but I always, you know, I don't remember ever selling this, but at some point I obviously did, because it's not there anymore. So, and it's cheap to buy, so I jumped on it. And for those who don't know, this is Tokyo Highway Battle 1. Tokyo Highway Challenge. I don't know what the PAL name is. It's just Highway Challenge, or is it Tokyo Highway Challenge? I can't remember. But yeah, this is the first one, obviously. It's not quite as good as the second one, I don't think, which is possibly why I sold it in the first place when I sort of downsized my collection. I probably thought, well, I'm going to play the second one of the two, so I'll get rid of the first one. But it's with a spine card as well. But like I say, it's cheap. It's you know, probably around a tenner. I don't know about the PAL version. It's probably dearer PAL. It's not a bad little game. Obviously, you know, they're all similar. You sort of challenge rivals to a race on a section of Japanese, like, street roads. But the graphics are quite nice. I think it's aged quite well, plays well, and it's a good little game, to be honest. If you like arcade races, you know, you can't go far wrong with that really for the money. But again, I'll put some footage up here so you can see it. Right, now we're all Saturn now, so if you're not interested in Saturn, we'll say bye there probably. Thanks for watching, but if you do like your Saturn, strap yourselves in. So, this first one, this passed me by originally, possibly because of the content or the subject matter, but I saw a video of it quite recently. I can't remember who I was watching, but somebody showed this, and I thought to myself, that looks quite good actually, even though I don't particularly like the subject. So I had a look on eBay, and you know, it's a fairly cheap game, and it's a Japanese exclusive, so if you want to play it, you've got to play the Japanese one. So I thought, I'm going to try it for the money it's going for. I'm going to risk it, and I've picked up All Japan Pro Wrestling featuring Virtua, which basically means it's also got 2 Virtua Fighter characters in it that you can play with as well. So I'm not into wrestling in any form, so this would have passed me by back in the day. I'd have had no interest in this. As soon as I saw wrestling on the case, that'd be it for me. But like I say, I saw a video and it really seemed to stand up quite well, even by today, you know, even by today's standards. So I thought, well, it's got to be worth the 10 quid or wherever it goes for. And I'll put the footage up again so you can see it. And I mean, from what I understand, they're all like legitimate Japanese wrestlers in this game, but none of them mean anything to me. But you can also play Wolf or Jeffrey out of Virtua Fighter as well, and it's quite nice in the sense that, as well as sort of the manual, you get, I suppose you'd call it a fold-out poster with all the move sets on, but just look how many moves there are. It's double-sided. I mean, there's no way in the world I'm going to learn these. But it's nice to have, and like I say, it's fairly cheap. So I've not tried it yet, but again I will do after I've finished here. I'll play it before I upload it and include the footage. But I am kind of interested to try it. Anybody out there played All Japan Pro Wrestling? I'm guessing somebody has. Let me know. What do you think? Is it good or is it a turd? Right. Next up, we've got... This is kind of a... Well, I'm not going to mess about. It's a football game. And, you know, I don't play football games particularly. Except the odd arcade one. But I went down the rabbit hole of getting Victory Goal on the Saturn, which I quite enjoyed, because it is quite arcadey. So that got me looking at the other game, the updated ones that got released. And you know, there's quite a few really. I don't know, there's 6 or 7 I'd say, without counting them. I can't remember. And I've managed to get them all now except 2. I think it's 2. Yeah. I have ordered one from Japan, but it's got lost, I think. I have contacted the seller and they reckon it's because of what's going on in Russia and Ukraine, because I'm assuming they've sent it like surface mail, so it could be anywhere lost in them 2 countries. So I'm guessing I'll never see that, so I'm probably going to have to look for that one again, in which case I still need 2. If it ever turns up, I'll need 1. But anyway, I'm waffling on. Victory Goal 97. And I mean, it's the same as the others, to be honest. If you've got one, you don't really need them all, but you know, they are cheap games, and I went down this rabbit hole and, you know, like I say, I only need 1 or 2 now, so I'm going to get all of them. Stupid as it may be, but it's nice to have, at least. It's like a small subset, I suppose. It satisfies the collector without costing much money. You know, they're probably £5 or less for most of these. Ironically, the one I haven't got, and not the one I've got on order, that one is more money for some reason. So, but it's not a fortune. It's only like 15 quid or something. So I'll get it at some point. But to be honest, I don't think the Victory Goal games are too bad. If you like an arcade footballer game, they're perfectly fine. So, in a similar vein, this is one I never knew existed back in the day, and I had a version of this on the N64, and at the time I would say it was probably the best football game you could buy at the time. Obviously things have changed since then, but at the time when ISS 64 came out on Japanese N64, it was a phenomenal game. It looked amazing, it played amazing, it was a great game. And then it got released in Europe and America, I suppose, as well. And it was called International Superstar Soccer 64, I think was the title. But the Japanese one was based on J-League teams, and it was called J-League something or other, I've forgotten now. It's like a blue, the Japanese box is blue and green. I should have got it out really and I could have showed you, but never mind. But anyway, waffling again. There was a Saturn version which I never knew at the time. I'm guessing this came out slightly later than the N64 one, because that was around the launch of the N64 in Japan, that version came out. So I'm guessing that was maybe 96 or something like that. 96, 97, I'm guessing the N64 one came out. And according to the box, this is 98, the Saturn version. I'm messing about again, aren't I? So, yeah, we've got this, and the official name on the side of the box is J-League GQ Hono No Striker. Fair drips off the tongue. But, nevertheless, this is a good game. Even now, much like the N64 one, it still looks good, it still plays good. Yes, it's all in Japanese and the Japanese teams, but you can play it. You know, obviously there's a lot of menus, you don't know what's going on, but you can play the game. So if you like your sort of arcadey football games and you like ISS, I'm guessing, I'd imagine you're going to like this. And as far as I'm aware, I don't remember this coming out PAL. And obviously being soccer, I'm guessing it probably didn't come out in North America either. So I'm not sure, but this could be a Japanese exclusive. Please let me know if there is a PAL version. Let me know. I'm just curious. I don't want it. I'm just curious to know if this is Japanese exclusive, because like I say, I never even knew this existed back in the day. So there we go. Yeah, Konami game, obviously, ISS. Cracking game. Really recommend that. I don't see many about that, unfortunately, if you actually want it. But if you do come across it, you know, might be one to look out for. Right, 3 left. And another sort of all-time classic. I've just never seen the Japanese version before, to be honest. I'm not sure I ever played it on the Saturn, to be honest. I had it on the Mega Drive or the Super Nintendo. I can't remember which. I think I've still got the Mega Drive one. Or I think mine's the Genesis one actually, but it doesn't matter. But anyway, NBA Jam Tournament Edition. Like I say, I've never seen this on Japanese before, and I just stumbled across this. Wasn't even thinking about ever buying it really. It just appeared, and like these things do sometimes, and thought, well, I'm going to try it, and grabbed it. And it's really good, obviously. I mean, you can't go wrong with NBA Jam, can you? I don't like basketball games, but NBA Jam is probably well, aside from Street Hoop on the Neo Geo, this is the only basketball game I've played, to be honest. So, not much to say about that, is there really? It's a good version. Graphically nice, obviously probably better than the Mega Drive and the SNES. So I'm chuffed to get that one. Right, now this one, I've been after this a while, but can never seem to get it at a decent price. And I remember this back in the day, more so on the PlayStation, to be honest. And I don't think it had that much of a good reputation back in the day, which is probably why I never bothered with it. I never played it back in the day. I just remember seeing the box. But again, it's something I've never seen Japanese before either. Not in the flesh. I've seen it on eBay, but I've never seen one in the flesh. And then I happened to stumble across it, and we've got Area 51. And for those of you who don't know, this is a light gun game, which I'm a big fan of. Love Virtual Cop, Time Crisis, amazing games, House of the Dead. Can't wait for the Switch one. I'm not expecting too much, but it'll be nice to try it at least. But anyway, yeah, Area 51, it's another light gun game. But unfortunately the graphics aren't great on this, to be honest. Looks quite ropey, especially now. I'm guessing it probably looked ropey back in the day, that's why it got sort of round up on a bit. But that said, it plays quite well. It's a good game to play, I think. I've only tried it with the joypad so far, because I was playing it on this LCD, and obviously I need to hook it up to the CRT to use the gun. But I am going to do that, because you know, it doesn't look a bad game at all, and it'll give me an excuse to have a go on Virtual Cop again, which is always a pleasure. But yeah, Area 51. Anybody remember that one? Played it? Hate it? Love it? What do you think? Let me know. But I was chuffed to get it. Like I say, it's not something I've ever seen in the flesh on Japanese before. So I suppose it could have come out. It's a Midway game, so I'm guessing it could have even come out PAL before it did Japanese, and that's why I've never seen it. So I don't know. Area 51 anyway. So the last game, and everybody knows the Saturn, brilliant for 2D games, and eventually I want to try and grab them all if I can. That's my goal anyway. So managed to tick another one off the list, and we've got X-Men versus Street Fighter. And what a game this is. I think I did have this back in the day, but I can't be sure, to be honest. I may have just played it. What a game, honestly. Obviously, you don't need any explanation. I'll put some footage up. Looks fantastic. You've got all the Street Fighter characters, obviously the X-Men characters. It's just a brilliant game. No two ways about it. I think of all the ones I've rebought so far, this is right up there. I would say, you know, there aren't many better, if any, than that I've played so far than this one. Still quite a few for me to get. I still need Marvel vs Street Fighter. That tends to be quite expensive, so that may be a repro job at some point. But I was chuffed to pick that one up. Genuine. X-Men vs Street Fighter. Anybody got any thoughts on that one? Stellar game for me. Absolutely brilliant. And there we go, guys. That's it for another episode. Like I say, there are some more pickups, but I'll put them in a separate episode for more modern stuff. But that's it then. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one. Sayonara.